Yo guys, Interlagos in Brazil is another classic circuit. It's extremely flowing, with almost all corners being longer, sweeping turns rather than 90-degree turns that you often see on more modern tracks. This track layout will really test your car's chassis as well as your overall balance. You'll need a car that is incredibly compliant as you turn into a corner, and one that won't step out on you as you accelerate out of it. Starting with the aero setup, I'm actually running a higher front wing aero for one of the first times in F1 22. The higher front wing compared to the rear will give us a car that's extremely willing to turn into the sweeping corners. Interlagos is a track which will punish you if you have a car with a tendency to understeer, so go with 21 on the front wing and 17 on the rear. I've lowered the on-throttle diff down to 65 to aid acceleration out of all of the sweeping turns. You'll be at relatively slow speeds throughout a lap of Interlagos, with the middle sector comprising of predominantly slow to medium speed corners. This transmission setup will help you get the power down easy. I've also set the off-throttle diff to just 50 to give an extra boost to rotation at slow speed. The suspension geometry is the same as our Mexico setup, all the way right on the camber and all the way left on the toe. This will help with speed down the long straights, helping making overtaking easier. Go for -2.5 front camber, -1 rear camber, 0.05 and 0.2 on your toe. For the suspension, I've gone for a stiff front end. This will help with overall responsiveness, ensuring that we don't understeer on corner entry. Go for 7 on both front suspension and anti-roll bar, and then go for 2 on the rear suspension and 1 on the rear ARB. For the ride height, go for 3 and 4. Then for the brake pressure, go for the 100% as per normal and the brake bias at 50%. And for the tyres, I've increased the rear pressures a little compared to the front. The front right in particular will generally be the first that wears during a race, so lowering the front pressures will protect it a little more. Go for 23.8 on the front pressures and 22.0 on the rear. If your tyre setup values are different to these, just try to set the closest values you can to my setup, as they do seem to be a bit different across different consoles. Once you nail your racing line, Interlagos is one of the most fun tracks to race around. The corners come at you fast, but it is such a flowing track, every corner is enjoyable to drive. With this setup, you should have a car that's equally quick through the winding corners and the long straights. Let me know how you find this setup in the comments below, and smash that like button. And if you want more F1 22 content beyond these dry race setups, subscribe to our channel and hit that alert bell. But for now guys, I'll see you on track.